One of the key concepts in linear algebra is the problem of the matrix eigenvalue problem. Now, this particular situation arises in many applications, like in the analysis of vibrations, stability of electrical circuits, in quantum mechanics, and an emerging application area is in the area of data science, machine learning, and information sciences. The applications of the eigenvalue problem have been growing steadily day to day. Now, where is the genesis of this problem? Now, all of us know when a matrix operates on a vector, then the result is another vector. But depending upon the columns of A, the output vector will have different features. For example, the matrix A can rotate the vector, or it can reflect about x-axis or y-axis, and so on and so forth. But there is one special situation when the matrix A, when operated on a vector x, just stretches that vector without changing its direction. So this is the genesis of the matrix eigenvalue problem. Mathematically, if A is a square matrix and x is a column vector, Ax is equal to lambda x is the basic statement of the matrix eigenvalue problem. The vector x should be necessarily a non-trivial vector, that is a non-zero vector, and it's called the eigenvector corresponding to the stretching factor lambda, which is called the eigenvalue. So you can see in this graphic that we have originally a vector x shown in a bold red arrow, and then when it's operated by the matrix A, then it gets stretched by an extent of lambda. Now, when we say stretching, it could mean three things. One thing is it could get compressed, or it could get expanded, or it can also be a reversal of direction. These are the three possible scenarios. Now, an eigenvector or characteristic vector of a linear transformation, a linear transformation in this case is a matrix, is a non-zero vector that changes at most by a scalar factor when that linear transformation is applied. The corresponding eigenvalue is the factor by which the eigenvector is scaled. So as already explained, if the eigenvalue is negative, the direction is reversed. Loosely speaking, in a multidimensional vector space, the eigenvector is not rotated. Okay, so let's look into how one can determine the eigenvalues or eigenvectors. Now, there are two approaches. One is the analytical method and one is the numerical method. Of course, this particular course deals with the analytical methods of finding out the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So let us begin with the basic equation Ax is equal to lambda x, where A should be necessarily a square matrix. Of course, the matrix A can be a real matrix or a complex matrix. And then theoretically, the eigenvalue lambda can be real or complex. So small manipulations of this equation, as you can see in the next 2-3 steps, takes you to the system of homogeneous equations A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. Now, since x is necessarily a non-trivial vector, then the determinant of the coefficient matrix should be non-zero, should be 0. That is, for non-trivial eigenvectors, the coefficient matrix should be singular. So we just take the determinant of A minus lambda I equated to 0 and expand it. Depending on the order of the matrix A, we get a polynomial equation in lambda. For example, if A is of order 2 by 2, then we get a quadratic in lambda. If A is of order 3 by 3, we get a cubic in lambda, and so on and so forth. So in general, we get a polynomial equation in lambda. This equation is called the characteristic equation of A. And if one solves this equation, we get the so-called eigenvalues. So the analytical approach of finding out eigenvalues is to first build a characteristic equation. I have just explained a couple of examples here. Suppose we take a 2 by 2 matrix, 4, 1, 1, 2, and then build the A minus lambda I matrix. So we get determinant 4 minus lambda, 1, 1, 2 minus lambda, equated to 0, expanded. So you get a quadratic in lambda, that is lambda square minus 6 lambda plus 7 is equal to 0. And if you factorize that, you get the eigenvalues. The same is explained with respect to a 3 by 3 matrix. So just build the determinant A minus lambda is equal to 0 matrix, and then careful expansion will give us a cubic in lambda. Now we have an alternative method to find the characteristic equation. For example, if we have a 2 by 2 matrix A, B, C, D, then the characteristic equation of A is determined by lambda square minus P lambda plus Q is equal to 0, where P is the trace and Q is the determinant of the matrix. So this is an alternative method by which we can build a characteristic equation, and it yields the same equation as we have seen before. For a 3 by 3 equation, 3 by 3 matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, the general structure of the characteristic equation is lambda cube minus P lambda square plus Q lambda minus R is equal to 0, where P is the trace, Q is a sum of all principal minor determinants of order 2 by 2, and R is the determinant of A. So when you test it on a 3 by 3 matrix, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 2 minus 5, 4, which was considered earlier, you just find P, which is a trace is 4, Q is the sum of the principal minor determinants, and you get 5, and R is determinant, which is 2. Therefore, the characteristic equation of A is lambda cube minus 4 lambda square plus 5 lambda minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have learned in this particular lecture how you can build characteristic equation of a square matrix. And then the next lecture will be on finding out the eigenvalues for different matrices.